Welcome to the Emporium Outdoors. My name is Michael and we're on a beautiful day in southern Alberta and we're headed out in the KTM 390 adventure. So I picked this KTM up, brand new. It's a 2023 model, a week ago, just over a week ago. I didn't have my bike license at that time, but I knew I was going to get it as quickly as possible. So I used to ride motorcycles back in England, but it's been over maybe 26 years since I was last on a bike. And to be honest, bikes were very different back then. Very basic, didn't have a lot of safety features. You just had to know how to handle them, and especially riding in England in traffic. So that's kind of my background. I'm not a real new rider, but I consider myself a beginner rider, and I think that's wise for me to do so. So I wanted a bike that was easy for beginners, something to cut my teeth on, not too much power, but still very capable. I really like to get into adventure riding, and I want to do that in a safe way. So I took some professional lessons from a local motorcycle teacher and took my test last Friday, so a couple of days ago, and I passed without any problems. It's actually, it was very basic, but obviously they're looking for a lot of the big safety features, which I managed to convince them I was safe to ride a motorcycle, so they gave me the license. So this is the KTM 390 Adventure, and it's a beautiful motorcycle. It took me a while to make a decision on which motorcycle to purchase that would suit my needs. It really came down to the KTM 390 Adventure or the Honda CBR 500X. And it was a bit of a toss-up. They did have this one in stock and the Honda wasn't in stock, but I think I would have chosen this anyway because it has some really nice features. So some of the things that were a big deal for me was the built-in crash bars came as standard. It does have somewhat of a skid plate. You don't have to buy that right away unless you want a tougher one. It has the adjustable suspension, so you've got your compression and your rebound on the other side, so that you can change. It has ABS on the dash, and it has traction control, and you can switch the bike from on-road to off-road modes. And I think that actually alters the way that the ABS and the traction control works. So it's very nice. It does connect to your phone, and you can do lots of things like control music, etc., etc. But the big thing for me was the traction control. I think that's a huge safety feature that I would only dream of on my old bike. It does have these basic kind of rack on the back. I've just got a bag strapped to it at the moment. And it also has a seat for a pillion if you want to take someone on the back of your bike. I don't plan on ever doing that at all. It's not really on my list of things I need to use this motorcycle for. It's purely for recreational. And I won't be riding it anywhere where there's a city. I'll be just heading out in the country during the weekends probably and just enjoying it. So I'm 5'9" and about 210 pounds. So I'm not a light guy, but there's plenty of power in this bike to push me along at highway speeds. It's very comfortable. I do like riding it. It is a little bit daunting when you first start getting into motorcycling, because if you actually analyze what you're doing, you're putting yourself on a two-wheel vehicle with no real protection apart from what you obviously wear in your head and your body, and you're hurtling along at quite a rapid rate of knots, and if anything should happen, you're going to be in a world of trouble. But the actualities of riding a motorcycle couldn't be more different. The bike feels really stable. You're way more connected to the outside. You can see a lot more that goes on, and as long as you keep your wits about you and predict as much as you can, especially other drivers, you can have a very safe day out traveling on the roads. I'm very lucky that I live where I do. Southern Alberta, especially, lots of country roads with hardly any traffic. Like I drove here for the last 30 minutes. I think I saw one vehicle. So it's perfect. The roads are good. But obviously this bike is designed as a dual sport or adventure bike, so it can go off-road and on-road. I'm keeping it on-road right now because I do need to practice more off-road and I need to figure all that out. I'm just happy sticking on the tarmac for now, the blacktop, and bringing my skills up. Passing your test is really the beginning of learning, not the end of it. So now I've got my license, I can actually start to train more, and I plan to take some more lessons in the future, some advanced motorcycle riding and maybe some off-road riding courses as well. So I'm still getting all my gear together. I have a this is a Joe Rocket jacket that I picked up. I'm not wearing the outer shell because it's too warm, but it has the elbow, has the shoulder protection, has the back protection built in. I want to make sure that I was at least as protected as I could. I have my KTM jeans on, which are Kevlar, and I have knee pads, and I have these KTM boots. Can't remember the name of this, Kozo or something similar. They're actually very nice boots. I really like these. And my helmet, I'm running a Scorpion AT950, which I like. It's a modular helmet, so the front lifts up. It has a visor in it. It's very nice, and just some basic leather gloves. But I do plan to get some adventure specific clothing, which is better for changing weather conditions. So it's going to be waterproof or water resistant, with probably an outer shell that goes with it, as well as all the armor and protection, but also all the venting as well, so you can adjust your temperature while you're riding the bike. So that's a little view of my future plans. You'll probably be seeing on the channel some motorbike content. I'm not sure if I'm going to really spin this out into its own channel or not at this stage. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, whether you would like to see some motorcycle camping trips. So people that like that sort of content can just go somewhere else, and I'll try and keep the main channel, you know, doing the kind of Jeep off-road, UTV camping, ATV camping type of setup. So I'm really enjoying setting up the bike and planning all the stuff, all the luggage options. Lots and lots to learn. I know I've got a road ahead of me, but I really feel this kind of hits a nerve with me. I feel very, it's hard to explain, but it just feels right. Like, I've tried all sorts of different types of camping. You know, probably UTV camping on my Argo was probably some of my favorite times, and this feels like that. It's it just feels good. Feels like I'm scratching an itch I haven't scratched for a long time. And just to add the camping equation to it as well, I think it's going to work out very well for me. One of the major downsides is obviously I can't take the dogs with me, and that's something I'm going to have to balance out. Typically I go camping every 2 weeks, and the other week I just stay home. It's cost prohibitive when gas is so expensive, and you know, just everything's so expensive. And the bike actually gets something like 3 liters per 100, so it's very economical. I can ride this for a long time on very little money. So I may alternate the trips, go out solo 1 week, and then next week I'll take the dogs. So I'll try and balance it out. There wouldn't be a drop in content volume. It would just be different type of content, probably more regularly. But that's to be decided just yet. We'll see how my time works out. So my overall thoughts on the KTM 390 Adventure is, I think it's a great beginner's bike. It's been a joy to ride and to learn on, and it works out really well. One of the main features I'm looking forward to is the quick shift that you can unlock after 1,000 kilometers once it's done its full service. You have to pay a small fee. Don't get me started. But then they turn that feature on, so you can shift without using the clutch, which will be a nice feature to have. So I can just move through the gears. There's a bit of electronics in there that basically cuts the throttle while you shift. And yeah, that's going to be a nice feature. Another reason I bought the KTM, because it does have that kind of built in, but not unlocked until you pay them. But however, so I think the KTM, from my perspective, which is a new rider, beginner's rider, it's been excellent. It's a nice seating position, very comfortable, and I look forward to putting many miles on this bike. So that's a short video just to let you know what I've been up to, and until next time, take care. And as always, thank you very much for watching. If you like my videos, leave me a comment, maybe a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe.